In Grandpa's day, everybody was poor. On every 40 acres was a small dairy farm and a family that struggled just to survive. Subsistence wasn't a choice, it was reality. Everything they could raise, grow, shoot, or trap was utilized. Grandpa quit school after the 8th grade and started farming. In the winter months, he would head to the wild north woods of Wisconsin and build a log cabin, living on his wit, the prey of his rifle, and the bounty of his traps. It was in one of these cabins that he survived the Great Depression. I was just a young boy when Grandpa first took me trapping. He'd never talked much, and I think that just added to the mystery of who he was. I realize now that his silent patience allowed him to absorb everything around him, and that's why he was successful in hunting, trapping, and in life. Of all the things he shared with me, nothing was more important than the words he spoke as we sat in his basement. Alaska, he said as he fleshed a beaver hide. That's where I'd go if I were a young man. More than a decade later, I was in the back seat of a de Havilland beaver, staring out at the snow-covered mountains of Kodiak Island. I was scared as hell. My childhood ambition of conquering the wilds of Alaska suddenly seemed so vain and stupid. With shiny new hip boots, a second-hand backpack, and a borrowed rifle, the life I yearned for was at hand. I survived that challenging month and returned home uncertain the life of a guide was for me. Within a few days, memories of long, overburdened packs, brutal storms, and hypothermia faded, and soon, the mountains were calling me back. "17 years after that first brown bear hunt, the compelling wildlands of Alaska and I are now inseparable. Living more than 6 years of my life in a tent and having guided clients from across the globe to hundreds of trophies, I still have yet to harvest an Alaskan big game animal for myself. For most hunters, the culmination of a hunt is realized as they squeeze the trigger. For me, it's when the airplane flies away. And I am left standing alone, enveloped by the unspoiled wilderness, humbled with peace and clarity. Makes me feel comfortable. I don't know, in a strange way, I don't feel alone at all. Everything that's important to your life floods to the forefront in just a matter of seconds. All the negatives in life are gone for me right now. It's only the positives. In a way, I can't wait already to get home to see my family, but these next 2.5 months that I'll be in the wilderness reinforces my knowledge of all the great things that I have in my life. But I think that's the greatest thing about hunting in Alaska right there. It's just that feeling, this feeling that I'm feeling right now. For the better part of 4 months each year, I will not see my family. Instinct becomes my lifeblood. Danger, unforgiving weather, and unforeseeable challenges are certain. Gusting over 70! After a few weeks in the bush, inhibitions and frivolities of everyday life vanish. A simple yet exhilarating existence blossoms. From dawn till dark, I focus solely on my environment. Just like the animals I hunt, life is lived from one second to the next. Every detail and occurrence drives my instinct, which dictates every reaction. Each sighting, fresh spoor, a shift in the wind, a subtle noise, or even a gut feeling causes an automatic response that has been honed by a lifetime of observation and countless successes and failures. The balance of aggression and patience becomes an art form. Like the predators with whom I share the mountains, efficiency is the objective, survival is the purpose.
Okay, right there, make the first one count. Just take your time, you got all the time in the world. Just make the first one count, Barry.
He's gonna be 200, just stay on him.
Hold just over his spine, wait for him to stop. Take your time. Wait. Well, he went down. There he's coming. He's coming out in the creek. He's coming out in the creek right down there. Hit him right in the front shoulder. Just wait, there's a cow right behind him. Don't shoot. Wait. He's gonna come in. He wants to eat us.
Yeah, I just can't believe it, mate. You made my day.
Thank you.
Bear hunters.
That is a big bear! I'm still confounded as I approach a lifeless animal. The attributes of every species deepen my reverence for everything in nature. Having hollow hair to keep warm in the harsh open terrain, a caribou bull's white neck signals his longevity. With his massive antlers, he fights other bulls and establishes dominance. With the strongest genetics, he procures breeding rights, which ensures the survival of the herd. To hunt Dall sheep in the vast, untouched mountains is a humbling and inspiring experience. Their 10-power vision as well as the taste of their flesh is without equal.
Tasty, tender.
Old heavy-horned rams fight tirelessly to breed, often depleting any fat reserves. Their majestic white coat provides camouflage in the winter when they are run down and most susceptible to predators. Survival of the fittest. It's the only law that applies to a brown or grizzly bear. His sense of smell is 7,000 times that of a human. This ever-intelligent omnivore is a perfectly designed killing machine. Living a fierce and competitive existence for over 20 years, I consider the pursuit of a mature boar to be the greatest hunt in North America. The cycle of life in bear country is savage and primal, but there's a certain honesty to it that I just can't get enough of. Stretching 6 feet wide and weighing up to 80 pounds, it's the function of a bull moose's antlers I find most remarkable. The moaning call of a cow echoes throughout the surrounding valleys. Having just shed his velvet, a bull's giant antlers gather vibrations in the cool September air and reflect that sound directly to his ears. I've used these natural satellite dishes to my advantage on many occasions, calling bulls in the pre-dawn stillness from as far as 5 miles away to within feet of my hunter. Nearly 1,000 pounds of organic meat is the hunter's reward. Cunning and ruthless. I suspect the wolf will be one of the longest surviving species on our planet. There is no better sound to exemplify the wilderness than the low howl of a wolf. But I fear that if left unchecked, they will destroy the wildlife resources that we share. In Alaska's interior, 80% of the moose and caribou that die each year are killed by bears and wolves, and less than 10% are killed by hunters. I, for one, refuse to rely on a grocery store or government for my survival. As hunter conservationists, we must continue to strive toward a sustainable, ecological balance.
Whenever you're ready. Smoke them.
Some of my most memorable hunts are the ones where the animals got away. The day it becomes automatic is the day hunting loses all meaning. Misses and mistakes keep us returning to wild places just as much as our successes. My passion for guiding in the wilderness doesn't stem from what I've done, what I know, or how many record book animals my clients have shot. It comes from what I haven't experienced, the intricate connectivity of nature I don't yet understand, and the valleys I have yet to cross. My grandfather died after 96 years of hunting, trapping, and observing nature. The fields, hills, swamps, and streams of Wisconsin fueled his soul the same way the open tundra, the mountains, lakes, and rivers of Alaska fuel mine. Grandpa passed on to me the resolve and courage to follow no trails, to climb that next mountain and explore the headwaters. He never forded the Musselshell, crossed the Rockies, or paddled the Yukon, but my grandpa had the spirit of a mountain man. If that spirit ever dies, the wilderness that we all love will die with it. Take the advice my grandpa gave me. Escape to the wild place that calls you. Experience it, live in it, rely on it, and revive the mountain man inside you.